And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at this cigar box here called Mafia de Cuba. This is a game that I was introduced to at Gen Con this year, and I knew that it was a werewolf style game, which, to be frank, there's almost starting to be too many of those right now. But this one involved you opening a box and looking at what was inside and maybe taking something out, and one person trying to guess what people took out. Well, that's a cool concept. There's no game like that that I know of. So let's open this up and hope it's as good as it sounds. In this game, it actually uses the box itself. You'll see that it opens up. Oh, it looks like some cigars, and inside there's kind of some of the rules of the game, and it looks like a knife and some other stuff inside the box. And what you're going to do for this box is you're going to put 15 diamonds in the box, and then you're going to put some rolls in the box, and the number and which rolls you pick are basically going to be based on the number of players in the game. One person is going to be chosen as the mob boss. He's going to get one or two of these joker tiles, and then what he's going to do is he's going to take the box first, and he can take 1 to 5 diamonds out of here. So it starts with 15, but now let's say I took 3. He hides those in his pocket, and now he knows that there's only 12 in these. He then passes this to the first person on his left. That person here, they are allowed to take one of the roll tokens out of the game. They put it in this bag and stick this bag in their pocket. That roll is out of the game. However, they don't have to do that. They can leave all the rolls in the game. It's up to them. Now, after they do that, then they and every other player in turn order is going to take the box, and they're either going to take a roll token out and put it in their pocket, or they're going to take one or more diamonds out and put those in their pocket. Or it's possible, when it gets around to you, there's nothing left in there, in which case you take nothing out, and the very last player is allowed to take nothing out if they want to. So it comes back to the mob boss, and he's going to look, and now there's going to be multiple rolls that are missing, and probably diamonds that are missing. At that point, he has to figure out who stole the diamonds. So he's going to start asking people questions. He might say, hey, how many diamonds were in the box when you got it? What rolls were in the box? What roll did you take? And players are going to, act this up and explain and accuse each other. And eventually, the mob boss is going to say, okay, you, Billy Bob, you stole diamonds. Now, if Billy Bob did steal diamonds, he reveals them, gives them back to the Godfather. If the Godfather catches everybody who stole diamonds, well, then he and anyone who picked a loyal henchman chip, they win the game together. If he picks a loyal henchman, the loyal henchman is like, oh, sorry. He has to apologize to that loyal henchman, so he gives him a joker token. If he is out of joker tokens at that point in time, and he picks a loyal henchman, then he and all the loyal henchmen lose. If he picks the FBI agent or the CIA agent, either one of them, they don't work together, they're each from their own agency. If he picks them, they win and everyone else loses. So they want to be picked. If he picks, there's a driver. The driver is basically nothing, but he wins if the person to his right wins. And then there's one role that you don't have to use all the time, but this guy here, who's essentially the hitman, he's called the cleaner in this game. When the mob boss picks somebody, he can shout, pow, and kill that person instantly. If that person is one of these two guys, then the cleaner wins the game alone. Otherwise, he kills the person, and he and that person are out of the game and can't win. There's also a street urchin. A street urchin doesn't have a token with it. That's what you are, a street urchin, if there's nothing in the box left for you to take, or if on the last turn you decide you want to be a street urchin. If the Godfather runs out of guesses and is out of the game and loses with his loyal henchmen, then whichever person stole the most diamonds is the winner. And street urchins will win if any thief wins. And those are the different roles. That's how the game is played. You can then play another round, and it recommends you get up and switch seats, which I would also recommend, and move around the table and pick a new Godfather and play another game. Well, taking a look at this total package of a game, I really enjoy it. Now, I'm obviously going to be tilted towards werewolf-style games, but this is one that I felt provided something new, something fresh. Now, the game does have some points, I don't want to say flaw, but it does, a lot of pressure is put on the Godfather, right? The whole game is about that Godfather and who they pick and what they pick. This is kind of reminiscent of some other games where maybe one person's in charge. Mysterium has a similar vibe where a lot of responsibilities on one person. But this game does encourage everybody yelling back and forth. There are people who are going to assure the Godfather that they are a loyal henchman. There are people who are acting kind of suspicious, but you're not sure if that they're just acting suspicious on purpose because they want the Godfather to pick them because they're the FBI agent. Or maybe they're acting suspicious because they're a thief and they know that you will think that they are the thief, that the CIA agent, so you won't pick them. But you know that they know that, and so on and so forth. The idea that the components are nice, they're big, thick poker chips. The diamonds are cool. They look like, these would be pretty expensive diamonds, but they look realistic, and the whole thing has a nice flair to it. This has a really cool theming about it as you pass around. There is some logistics, where you got to take it out and, keep it and stick it in your pocket, or pretend to take something out and stick it in your pocket. And then some people are not going to like the fact that you're sticking things in your pocket at all. I guess you could just keep it hidden in your hand, too, the whole game. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the interaction. I enjoyed the back and forth. I like the fact that essentially you can pick your role in this game. Most time in Werewolf, people are upset. Oh, I'm just a boring villager again. Or, oh, I'm a werewolf. I didn't want to be a werewolf. Here you can say, I'm going to steal because I want to, or I'm going to be a loyal henchman. Now, obviously, the roles will diminish as it goes around the table. And I think that actually it's more fun to be one of the first people to the left of the Godfather than the last person, who often will have few or no choices, but you still play that up. You still can talk about it. And the memory aspect of the game is hilarious because I'll sit there and go, wait a minute, how many diamonds were in the box when I got it? And that whole forgetting or pretending to forget or accusing people, it's unique and interesting. I would love to see more roles for the game. Usually I don't want to see a whole pile more roles, but this is one I think I'd like to see more, and I know they're coming out with an expansion. But even as a base game set, it's a cool package, it's neat, and I'm glad to have it. Dice Tower Judgment, into my collection!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!